Good evening. It's another Saturday night, and tonight I bought one expensive whiskey and three cheap ones. So now I've got three inexpensive ones, and I have one that cost a pretty sum, but it's one that I want to try. I'm not going to talk about that one yet, because right now I'm going to talk about whiskey that I bought 2 weeks ago. I was looking at some Paul John Indian whiskey, and I was looking at a Ben Riach that I wanted to have for a long time. But then when I saw this right here, I decided to leave the Paul John for the next week, which I bought a week ago now, but I'll be tasting. I'm sort of first in, first out when it comes to tasting whiskey. I buy the stuff I bought earlier is the stuff that I'll taste sooner, if that makes any sense. What I got tonight is some of this. It's a Scapa, the Orcadian. And is there an age statement on it? I don't believe so. There's a lot of writing on here. 750 mils, 40% alcohol by volume. It's a sturdy box. It's got nice colors on it. So I'm going to make the light a little brighter so I can actually read, because it's dark. The last time I had a Scapa, I think it was a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, and that was back around 10 years ago. And I tried it, and I forget what it tasted like. I thought it was good at the time. I don't know what it's like now. I remember the bottle disappeared quickly. Here it is. Single Malt Scotch Whisky, Skiren, Old Norse, glittering bright skies. Okay. Inspired by summer's bright glittering skies, described in Old Norse as Skiren. This expression is exclusively matured first fill American oak casks for a smooth, creamy sweetness with a hint of tropical fruit, citrus, and coastal heather. And then it says the same thing in French. Well, I'll forget that temporarily to get my own taste from it. From the Isle of Orkney, batch number SK02, 100% full fill American oak cask. SK02. Wow. The bottle's probably not numbered, and since 1885. And here there's a bunch of writing on the back. You know what? I'm gonna first pour me a dram and let it open up a little while I read this. There's our bottle of Scapa, the Orcadian Skiren. All right. Like I said, I haven't seen Scapa on the shelf in a long time. I believe I tried this at the Whiskey Festival and thought it was quite nice. I also tried a Gordon and MacPhail independent bottling of Scapa, which I really thought was awesome. I'm going to have to look up for some more of those independent bottlings, but here in Canada, we don't get them too often. There we are. We got our 2017 glass from the Victoria Whiskey Festival. And we will let this open up a little bit. Wow. This here, I've read the label basically already. 750 mils, 40% alcohol by volume. Nothing too exotic there. The box is a sturdy sucker. Okay. Within reach of the Arctic Circle, Scapa, part of the Orkney Isles archipelago, is ruled by the elements. Perched in the tranquil shores of Scapa Flow, the Scapa distillery is perfectly placed to look upon the ever-changing seas and skies. Oh, we're talking poetry here. Okay. To survive here, Islanders have learned to harness nature's contrasts and make the most of the gentler months when the horizon is bright and gleaming. It is these light summer nights when our home is bathed in endless twilight that have inspired the creation of this smooth, honeyed single malt. Okay, so we're talking midnight sun here. Arctic Circle. I've been past the Arctic Circle myself, and I thought it was glorious, where you had 24-hour sunlight. Crafted the Orcadian way, our team of artisans pride themselves on using traditional methods and skills honed over several generations. The result is deliciously smooth, flowing with mellow fruits and heather honey, and bringing to mind Scapa Flow's natural sanctuary from the restless elements beyond. And it says the same thing in French, and I would probably, even though French is my third language, I would probably butcher this a little bit, and you don't want to hear it anyway, do you? Well, à proximité du cercle arctique se trouve Scapa, le port des îles de l'archipel des Orcades. Okay, and on it goes. Single malt Scotch whisky, distilled and bottled in Scotland, and so on and so on. Oh, they have a, if you can see that, no pregnancy. Don't drink while you're pregnant. I love international symbols. They are just great. Okay. They come up with some good ones sometimes. Let's get the white balance a little bit more. There. That's a little better. Now, I want to be able to see, so I will do this. Ah, yes. Okay. Let's give it a little stroll around the glass. Well, I do it a little bit fast, like I do 78 RPM rather than 33 1/3, but it's a stroll around the glass. Coat the sides. Oh, yes! I'm getting fruity tangerines, apples, and it's a malty one too. Apples, yeah. Tangerines, oranges. Lovely. Oh, this is quite a fruity bouquet. Very nice. And malty cereal. This is beautiful. There's more fruits in there too. Lovely, fruity nose with some malty notes and some, I guess, a little bit of what reminds me of Ovaltine, you know, that Swiss sort of malty drink that you put in milk or something. I haven't had that stuff in about 40 years, but I'm getting it here in the nose. Oh, this is delicious. Delicious nose. Not more complicated than that. I'm not getting any peat or spice. Just fruit and malt and Ovaltine. Oh, I like that. I can see where they got the shimmering skies of endless twilight. Nice. There's the honey too. The honey and heather, which makes a combination a little bit like, to me, Ovaltine, but yeah, I get it. fruit, heather, honey. Oh, this is superb. Well, you know what? We've gone on 10 minutes already reading about this poetry and giving it a nose. Let's give it a taste. Oh, succulent. There are fruits. I get oranges again. I get some other kind of fruit, maybe somewhere between a plum and an apple. I guess it's a fruit that doesn't exist, but it's in there. I'm getting some tropical too. Bit of papaya, maybe a bit of cantaloupe, which to me is similar to papaya. You know, now that I've tasted it a little bit, I'm getting a little bit of coconut on the nose. And honey. And that grassy heatherness. Oh, this is lovely. This is a beautiful little dram. It's got a slightly slippery mouthfeel. I'm getting hay. I'm getting hay on the taste. Tastes like the way hay smells. Very smooth. A little bit of a spicy note to it. A little bit of spice that hangs on the sides of my tongue. Interesting. Aftertaste. It kind of fades fast. But still, that nose and that freshly cut hay and honey and heather. Oh, this one, like any quality single malt, changes a little as you go. Now I'm getting hay, like haystacks. There's that malty, very spicy. Now it tastes like hay too. It's good. And once again, the aftertaste just drops off. But this is a fine little dram. I'm enjoying this a lot. Incidentally, I started with some, what did I have? The dregs of this bottle, the heels. Where is it? Is this it? Yeah, I had the heels of a black bottle. And I opened a new bottle of Grant's Family Reserve, and I had a dram of that before having a dram of this, and oh, you know what, now the taste is coming back, even though it's been a little while since my last sip. Apricots. Yeah, apricots at the very, very end, after you think that all the flavor is gone and it's all used itself up and there's no aftertaste, and then apricots. There it is. This is nice. And I don't think I wasted my money. What did I spend on that? Should say so on this bill here. Scapa Skiren. $74.99. With the taxes, it's $86.74. That's reasonable. I don't think a little more ABV would hurt it. If it was bottled at 43%, it would be nice. But this is a good place to start if you want to start with a rather gentle single malt, but not too gentle. It has a lot of flavor to it. Being a non-age statement, I don't know how old it is, maybe 8 years or so. The question is, will it oxidize so fast that it will lose all its flavor as the bottle goes down? Because, a bottle like this typically will last me 6, 7, or 8 months because I have so many bottles going at a time that I have a couple of bottles that have lost almost all their flavor. And one of them was really intense, and now it's like water almost. Well, we'll see how it goes. I may come back and redo this one after the bottle's halfway down. But the initial impression is fabulous. Oh yeah, slancha.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.